All right. Good morning, everybody. Joe Van Duren here, and welcome. You can see we're still in Tennessee. We plan to stay here for a while. We're up in the mountains and enjoying a great time and great weather up here. So thank you very much for being here as we do our virtues pick for today. And the virtue today that came up for us was helpfulness. So let's read the description. And just to be clear, I did this live once before, like just a few minutes ago, and then couldn't find it. So we're going to try again. I don't know where it is or where it's going. So here we go. So helpfulness is doing things or doing useful things for others, things that make a difference to them, no matter how small. It is taking the time to be thoughtful, reflecting on what people truly need, assisting them respectfully. We help others by doing things they cannot do for themselves. It is often easier to give help than to receive it. It takes courage to ask for help when we need it. There's always plenty of help when we're willing to ask. When we work selflessly to benefit the lives of others, we always bless our own. All right, so that's a great description, and I will just say that as I look at this and think about it, one of the first things that comes to my mind, and I may have mentioned this before because it is something that I work on, and that is having the willingness to ask for help when I need it. So, sometimes I find myself struggling with, I don't know, a big box or something that I'm trying to move. And instead of asking for help, I'll just struggle with it. Or I'll be having trouble with the website or with something tech related, and I, struggle through it. When if I just asked for help, or if I'd looked it up on YouTube or someplace, I would have pretty easily found the answer and could have moved forward. But instead, always trying to figure it out for myself. So it's not a good idea, because people are willing to help, and if we ask for it, and if we're not asking for help in things that we can take care of ourselves, or that is truly our responsibility and truly our responsibility and not anyone else's, then people are willing to help, and they want to help, and they want to be of service and to be generous with their time, as a whole, I would say. So with that in mind, I'm thinking about this from the viewpoint of, who can I help today? And obviously the very first answer that comes to my mind is I want to be helpful for my family first, because as we've stated before, unless you're practicing these virtues that you have inside of yourself already, unless you're practicing them inside in your family, then it not only makes it harder to do on the outside, but it certainly has a different feeling about it. It's almost a hypocritical kind of thing to be able to help those on the outside but not help those on the inside. So how do we do it? How are we helpful? Well, we look for those things that are, as it says, useful for others, things that's going to make a difference for them, no matter how small. And it could be something around the house. It could be something, a chore that we can do. It could be a service that we can provide, maybe picking something up or doing something that that is maybe not even expected. So as I was thinking, just as I said that, I was thinking one of the things that I used to do was, I would do something out of the ordinary. This is years ago now. Let me just state that, okay? I would do something out of the ordinary, like unload the dishwasher or do a load of laundry. And then I would expect and want it and looked for and sometimes even asked for some praise for that, right? Being helpful that's not being helpful. It's being helpful, but it's not doing it in the spirit of helpfulness. It's doing it in a different spirit. I don't know what it is. But when we're generous with our time and when we're generous with helping other people, we do it without expecting other things in return. We don't do it looking for someone to praise us up and down for that. Now, the other thing that I was thinking about in regard to this is this idea of being able to receive help. And I've stated before that this is something that I struggle with sometimes, being willing to receive that help. And and when we think about this inside of the family, it's kind of a two-way street because have you ever seen a situation where one partner, and maybe you've been in this, it seems like I've had times when I've been in this situation where one partner wants, desires, really almost demands that the other partner do something to quote unquote help. And yet when the other partner does the task is not done to the level of proficiency that the first partner wanted it done, and then they complain about it, right? So, that's not really receiving help in a very I don't know, in a receiving way. It's not being receptive to the help being provided. And I think about this not just with adults, but I think about it especially with children, because we want to teach our children how to be helpful, what helpfulness looks like both in the family and outside of the family. And yet if we allow them, and we can do that by asking them to join us, right? Join us in helping us to do something. So maybe they're going to help us make the bed. So that's a skill that's learned. And when you first are learning a skill, it's not going to be done the way that, mom or dad would do it, but it's going to be done the way the kid knows how to do it and has the skill to do it. And so it's a skill that grows, and we continue to develop that skill with them. Now, having said that, if we shame the child for, no, don't do it that way, do it this way, make sure you have this, make sure you have that, before they've developed those skills, then they're going to get to a place where they're going to feign helplessness and not want to help or be helpful for fear of being blamed or shamed or guilted or made to feel bad in some fashion. So it's so important for us to be able to receive help in a very thankful way, recognizing that when someone wants to help, that they're being generous, they're being of service, they're being courteous, they're being helpful in a way that is best for them. And so learning to accept that for just what it is, and then especially with our children, helping them to learn a better practice or to learn another way is how we continue to grow that helpfulness. And then when they're on the outside, they'll feel more free and more free to practice that helpfulness. All right, everybody, so thank you very much for being here. That's my thoughts today about helpfulness, and I will join everyone tomorrow. Until next time, keep practicing the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time, bye.